Hi, I'm Tamara and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the ESTJ, which is one of the 16 Myers Briggs personality types. Now what stands out to me about the ESTJ is one, they are leaders, and number two, grit. The reason why I say leader is because they are your natural take charge leaders. They are going to lead a situation, take charge of it, even when they're not asked. If they see a problem, they see an opportunity, they see an issue, they can't help themselves. They're going to step in and they're gonna make things right. They're gonna correct any situation that's happening or that's gone wrong. They are very good at organization, structured, systematic approach to completing things. So they are people that you can absolutely 100% trust to get a job done right. And it's going to be done effectively from beginning to end because they understand details. They are very fact-oriented and they're not going to skip steps or change things up. It's going to be very systematic and it's going to make a whole lot of sense. They are not feelers, which is a very interesting component because some people would say that the ESTJ leads with a sense of harshness. They can be a little bit brash or brutal or very assertive in their approach because they're not dealing with feelings, not worried about how my decision impacts you in a more feeling way. This job needs to be done and I am expecting you to start it and finish it. If there's a problem, they can address that later and deal with it then. They are very, very good and effective when it comes to making things happen and getting things done. I think ESTJ females have a harder time in our society. They are judged differently than ESTJ males. I think when an ESTJ takes charge, she's kind of looked at like, who do you think you are? Now, does that happen a lot? Heck no, because for one, the ESTJ has an enormous bark and an enormous bite. Who wants to tangle with that? I don't. And then the second thing is they deliver. So the proof is in the pudding. Why would you argue with somebody that's going to get the job done and they're going to do it right and they're going to do it effectively and efficiently? So most of the times they can prove themselves worthy. I think sometimes the ESTJ female might be confronted more, or they may not even quite know how they're coming across or judged by people because people might be a little bit too afraid to let them know how they're coming across. ESTJs can sort of demand and command respect in a way that is not going to be challenged or frowned upon as much. They have very high expectations for people and how they want things done. I don't know if you've heard that word grit, but it's kind of a new catchword right now. I really like that word. There's a book out called Grit. So let me show you the definition of grit. And you know, when I first heard this word, I thought, do I have grit? And my truthful answer to that is sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. That word is designed for an ESTJ. Why? Because they are unyielding. They are going to finish what they start. They are very dependable. They are hardworking. They conquer. They are not defeated by anything. They don't back down very easily. They don't give up when the going gets tough. They're going to finish what they start. They don't care how tough it is. They're not bothered by the challenges that come with whatever it is that they're trying to get done. They're still going to do it. And not only that, they're going to do it in the right way. It doesn't matter how tired they are. It doesn't matter if they have to do it more than once. They're going to get it right. So when you think of grit, you think of endurance. You think of follow through. They have the endurance to push through and to finish strong. They are very meticulous and detailed, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter if they're baking you the most delicious cake. They're not interested in skipping steps to save time unless it makes sense, because of course they want to do things the most efficient way possible. They are confident. They can push through any obstacles. They are always seeking excellence. I just admire them so much for their grit and their ability to lead. So let's talk about bullying. They have sensors for it. They detect it. They understand it. They know it. Why? Because they have the capacity, I guess, to be bullies. So they recognize it. They know the signs. They know what it is. They can bully their way into getting what it is that they want done, or bully someone into submission. And maybe I should choose a different word. Most of them have an upstanding nature about them. They wouldn't just bully somebody to hurt them or put them down. But when it comes to leading and making sure that you get a task done, they can sort of play around in that arena a little bit, because they're gonna push you to get the job done and to do it right. And they're not gonna have mercy on you if you're trying to pull one over on them. Sometimes I think they do it a little bit for effectiveness. They are also very good military leaders. They can be your most generous. They can be your most free-hearted. Their objectivity comes into play when it comes to things like gift giving, because they know it's the thought that counts. It's the thoughtfulness that means a great deal to them. They're very giving, and they can express their caring nature in other ways. So it may be in showing you by giving you gifts, by being thoughtful, by sending you flowers. They're gonna show you kindness by taking charge of situations where they know there was an injustice that happened, and they're gonna really care about those people and make the situation right. They can express themselves very well in words. They're going to thank you, and you're gonna really feel it. You can have some very thoughtful, meaningful conversations with an ESTJ. They can also be very comforting to be around. So they have a lot of knowledge and experience with making things work. They're naturally good at keeping things going. The ESFJ, when they lead, they get in the trenches with you. Sometimes it can be in a more warm way. Hey, you might not understand this, so I'm going to walk you through. They are going to be smothering in their leadership style, because they're gonna make sure that you are following every little thing. But the ESFJ is gonna get in there with you and be leading and making sure that you're okay. The ESTJ, it's sort of like they're yelling an order from far away. Hello, did you take out the pieces of the project that I told you to take out? Make sure that gets done today by 3:03 and 3 seconds after that. Thank you. They're gonna give you some space and some distance when they're leading you. It's going to be take charge, but they're gonna give you the space to do it, but they're not gonna necessarily be all over you. They're gonna give you the order and expect you to do it. They are very direct. They can be insensitive. However, I have also noticed something very, very interesting about some male ESTJs when it comes to a relationship. If they have a wife who is very dominating, they can sort of take a back seat. They are confident enough in that situation to sort of soften, because they can lead from different ways and different angles and different approaches. Now, they still are very protective. Remember, SJs are natural guardians, so they are going to look out for you. They're going to protect you. He could step back and not be as, kind of let her feel like, hey, I'm running things. Hey, you know what? I got this. I can back up and I can lead from a distance. Now, they can still be very straightforward and let you know something that you just said or that you did is offensive, because they are naturally forceful. Even if they're not yelling it, even if they're not screaming it, they can handle themselves quite well and still be leading and making sure everything is okay, but in a different way. They are extroverted thinkers, so that really helps them with their organization skills and with getting things done. It helps them to organize for efficiency. They also have introverted sensing, which helps them with the experiences that they've had that help them to sort of learn from past experiences and implement things based on their experiences. They're very good at categorizing things in their minds and in their heads, which is why they can execute things outwardly so well. That introverted sensing also helps them to have practical systems and rules and systems that work very well. They're actually funny. They're actually fun to be around. Like, they can joke and make you laugh, and you can be silly with them. They can crack you up. I mean, maybe not in the same way as an ESTP, but they can have a sarcastic sense of humor, a funny sense of humor, like to tell a joke or something funny that they've observed. And they can be very patient with details that other people would make them go absolutely bonkers. For them, character matters. They can stand up for what it is that they believe in, and they can take good care of the people around them. An example of a person who's an ESTJ is Patti LaBelle. She has been known to go on the road and cook huge meals in between stops for everybody on her staff. They can sort of take care of the people around them. Alton Brown is another famous person who is an ESTJ, and he hosts a show called Grittiest. He explores different aspects of food, gives you factual tidbits about things, like explores them in great details. He likes gadgets and tinkering with things. He has no problem judging the food. He's going to tell you exactly how it should taste, what's wrong with it, what's right with it. He has a great memory based on his experiences and studying every finite detail about different types of foods and dishes. I just watched a video recently that went over like 50 ways of doing things more efficiently and effectively, and I said, that has to be an ESTJ, hands down. They showed you the proper way of peeling a sticky notepad, and instead of peeling it like this, you're supposed to peel it sideways so that it will stick effectively. That is an example of some of the things, or the mind of an ESTJ, and how they like to sort of tinker with toys and get into that type of arena. People are not robots. They do have feelings, and sometimes it might be a good idea or more effective to get some understanding of how you're coming across or the impact that you're having on people, and to take some time to understand feelings on some level. They are very outspoken, organized, and they have a vast array of knowledge. Because they're used to taking charge, they may not be as in touch with being challenged, so they could become very outraged when challenged. Consider the feedback that you're getting, really take it into consideration. It could be something that could really help you. If someone that they care about does get really upset with them, they will translate it into a practical way and know they don't want you to be angry at them, especially if they really, really like you and care about you. They're gonna wanna really ultimately enjoy you and have fun with you. They can translate things into facts and data. They are going to give you every step, and you're gonna be covered, and you're gonna know what you're doing. And they can really get to the heart and the depth of things. They're not so bothered by conflict. They see it as a way of getting things done. And sometimes conflict is great because it helps you to push through some things that otherwise you wouldn't push through. They make sure that everything is planned out, that everybody's coordinated, everybody knows the position that they're playing, and everybody is going to feel success in the end. And who doesn't want to feel success? And the other great thing about them is they are predictable. There's a security in ESTJs because you know what you're getting. So they are an amazing type. I'm so grateful that we have ESTJs to lead us. Thank you for all the ESTJs who are in the military, for all that you do to serve our country. We really, really appreciate you, because we know that arena is heavily filled with many, many ESTJs. So we do appreciate everything that you do. So please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. So go out and have an amazing, wonderful, and productive day. Bye.